Hello and welcome back to another video. So I am just back from my holidays as of, I'd say, half an hour ago. Myself and Rob went up north for a bit of a break for a few days. So I am back now and just wanted to make the most of the weather. It's great out there. So I said I wouldn't waste the day. So we came down this morning and straight out to it now. You might notice something a bit different in the back, and you can see she's getting acquainted with Norma there. Wouldn't she just leave her alone? But anyway, the limousines are gone. So they went at about 10 o'clock this morning to the factory. So I don't have prices or anything yet, so I'll probably just leave this video until I do get them back, and I'll just let you know at the end. Hopefully I'll find out the prices today, but we'll wait for the full report and see how they graded and all of that as well, and the price per kg and what they killed out at, and I can show that to you guys. But yeah, it's great to have the heifer in there and the pen free. I'll clean that someday whenever I get a chance. But anyway, you'll see there's loads of silage in front of the cattle because I put a bale out per pen, which was too much really, but I said I didn't want to be worrying about it while I was away. Oh, did they have enough? Did they not? So I said I'd give them loads. So they have loads in front of them. Dad texted me on the way down to say we need to move the ones below because he thinks they're out of grass. He hasn't gone in to check, so I'll go in to check. They're very distracting in the background. Let me go. Let me have these in the background. They're just spectators. But yeah, so I must go down now, check are they actually out of grass. But I'm not going to move them. I'm going to bring down the silage that I have here. They're all at it now. I'm going to bring down the silage that I have here and give that to them for the night, leave them there and then move them tomorrow, because this silage is only going to go to waste if I leave it for another day or two, because they are not going to get through that tonight. So I just think it makes more sense. Leave them where they are. I have to fix up the fence that the deer broke through, so I'll go down and do that. Just drive a few stakes again and tighten up the wire, and hopefully that'll be it sorted, and we'll move them in tomorrow. I'll get in with the topper then, hopefully. The place seems to be dry enough. The 135 will be light enough, I hope. I'll go in there, top that, and we'll get going again for the next rotation. I know it's very early, but look, I might as well top it now that they're out of it. Or at least I'll start that today, and maybe it'll be a job where I'm doing half an hour in the evenings before dark after work if I can. I also want to show you something that has arrived on the farm. It's a big moment for the farm, for myself and Dad, and yeah, I'm looking forward to showing you guys. Hopefully you'll be impressed with it. But look, I'm going to do the few bits first. I'll come back, I'll get it, and I'll show you it then and give a bit of a chat through it. Now that's in here done. They've fed it down fairly well, and you can see there isn't too much damage. Little bits and pieces there like that. That's probably Big Black with her 900 kg. But yeah, they're done. So tomorrow after work they'll get the move. The silage will keep them going now for tonight. They're not overly hungry, but they're tipping away at it anyway, so that should keep them happy for at least the night. And there's a little bit of a pick left for them as well until I get home tomorrow, but that's a lot of silage for them there now, and you can see some of them have already lost interest in it, so that's good. Now we just did that quick bit of fencing there. You can see it's up by the gap there anyway. We tightened the whole lot up from the ditch here, and it's going the whole way down. So there was just 2 posts knocked out, and then the wire was snapped or down in 2 places. So that's fixed as well. And just with Rob, the 2 of us gave it a good stretching, and it's fairly good there. There's good tension in it. So that's done. That should keep them, and they'll be ready to move in here tomorrow. As you can see behind me, the grass is decent here. It's definitely coming along really green. Good in some patches, not as good in others, as always with our ground. I can't see them doing too long in here, if I'm being honest, considering they went through the grass across the way so quickly, and that is definitely a bigger space than here. Although also definitely has more kind of barren patches and what than in here does. So look, we'll see how they get on, but there's a good few of them now to be in here, so it might not last them, but we'll see. At least it's coming along. Once they've fed this, we're going to get slurry on it. It hasn't had slurry in a few years down here now, so that will definitely be good for here, and it should push it on for the rest of the year as well. So yeah, I'll leave it here, and I'll go up and get what I want to show you. Right, so I'm up here with what we got. I was going to keep this quiet for another while, just because I'm not going to have a whole lot of use for it for a while. But some eagle-eyed viewers have already spotted it on the crowd I bought it from on their social media pages. So I said, look, I might as well throw up the video and let everybody know. And look, it'll probably be sitting there for another while yet, but I might as well show you what it is now. And there it is. So I just went and did it. It's a bit windy now, so what I'll do is I'll give you a look around it, and then I'll probably just sit into it and just go through why I splashed out on this. So overall you can see it is in good nick. The tyres are not excellent, but for the work I'll be doing I should get another little bit of time out of them. But I'm pretty happy with them, to be honest. The paint work is really good. I'll show you the cab in a while. That is really good. Just a couple of small bits there. You'll see the washer bottle is bust, so I'll replace that. More importantly, there is no PTO guard on it, so I'll have to get that just before I'm doing any topping with it or whatever. The lights seem to be good. There's one just broken up there, but I think the light itself actually works. I've one indicator that isn't working, so I'll just check if that's a bulb or a fuse. But apart from that, all the rest of them are working. I am missing the Massey Ferguson badge on the grille at the front, which I do want to get and put it on it because it'll look nice. And the previous owners have these extra lights on it as well, which are working as well. So yeah, really happy with it. It looks the part anyway, but yeah, that's it. Now, so that is it. That is the big purchase, and yeah, for some people it's not a big purchase, but this is the first tractor we have bought here on this farm since the 70s. So it wasn't a decision I took lightly. Was I looking for a tractor? Not necessarily. Because as I had mentioned previously, the 135 does the work just about, but it was doing the work. But a big thank you to Ger, who does a lot of the work for me that I can't do myself on the farm. he spotted it on an ad and he came all the way up to Gort with me, to DH Machinery there in Gort, to have a look at it, to put it through its paces. And yeah, I mean, obviously when I saw it, I loved it straight away. Anyone who's watched me for a while will know I always did want the 390. It's not the T, but I'll get over it that it's not the T. It is just a 390, but it's what I was looking for. So the fact that it was in good nick, the cab is in really good nick as well. There's a little bit of damage to the upholstery, all right, on the sides, but other than that, it's good. Does it start as well as the 135? I would say no, it doesn't. But I think that 135 is the best machine ever. And to be honest, to be able to get this to match it, I'm really happy. It was a decent price. Of course, anybody who's looking at tractors knows they don't come cheap, but this was at a reasonable price. And I just felt like, what am I waiting for, really? I don't think prices of tractors are going to come down a massive amount realistically. This was in good nick. It was checked over by Ger, so I had a bit of a sleepless night the night I went to see it, thinking, you know, because look, YouTube did not pay for this tractor, unfortunately, and the farm most definitely did not pay for this tractor. So the day job paid for this tractor, and you know, that is why I am so grateful that I do have the day job that I have, because not only it allows me the flexibility to actually do the farming, but it has allowed me to buy this tractor as well, which is a big luxury. Well, to me it's a big luxury anyway. Maybe to others they'd be looking at something a bit newer, but for me, it's got no electrics. That's what I wanted in a tractor I was buying. It's got the horsepower, why do I always say horse weirdly? It's got the horsepower to do what I want it to do, you know. It's got the 4-wheel drive. It should be able to lift a bale handy enough. We'll see. It might struggle slightly. It doesn't have a front loader, so that will of course be another couple of grand that I'll have to splash out for it. But look, I can do that before the winter. So yeah, this is it. Right now, it doesn't fit into the shed, so that is the main problem with it, I would say, at the moment. The sunroof is what's catching in the door below, so we're going to have to raise the door slightly. We'll cut out the sheeting to fit it in. I've no doubt that it's not going to do for me what the loader is doing for me at the moment in the shed. Like, I mean, I know already it's going to be quite clumsy in a shed that size, but obviously the setup I have now at the moment is the setup that I would want forever, and I'm sure most farmers of my scale at least, and probably even a little bit bigger, would love to have the 135, have the 390 and have a loader for winter. That is the perfect scenario. As I said, I won't be using this for a while. Even if it did fit into the shed, I wouldn't be using it while I have the loader, and hopefully I'll have that for another while because there's a few more bits and pieces I want to do with it. But yeah, I couldn't pass up this opportunity. So it will be great for the fields. Obviously, the 135 is going nowhere before anybody starts asking if they can buy it and how much. It's not going anywhere. Most of all, it has sentimental value. My granddad bought that in the 70s. So there's no way I'd sell it, or Dad would sell it. There's no way. And look, the 135 is going to be out during the week doing the topping for me. It's going to be doing the muck spreading, and it's going to be doing the fertiliser spreading, because at this time of year when the ground is soft, that's the perfect tractor for those things. This will be great for when I want to get into the heavier rushes and stuff, and when the ground dries up later in the year. This will absolutely do all the topping for me without a doubt. But yeah, that is it. Some people might find it curious that I bought it. Some people will probably say the loader has turned me soft, and you might be onto something there. You know, I think having the loader over the winter really just made me realise how important it is to have the right equipment. Yeah, look, it's not easy afford these things, so it's not easy afford having the right equipment, but the loader just opened my eyes up to the absolute hardship that I was putting myself through. And for me as a part-time farmer, my biggest struggle is having time to do everything. So I'm always fighting against the clock, you know, to try and get what I need done, just to tip away. I'm never ahead of myself, but you know, just to have the time to get enough done. And having this now should make a massive difference. I should get jobs done quicker. I should get jobs done easier. You know, even trying to put on the implements, it'll be easier because I have the handle back there to control the arms. I can have the fertilizer spread around the 135. I can have the topper on this in the summer so that I'm not wasting time chopping and changing implements. You know, it's going to be a game changer for me, I'm hoping. Hopefully it will serve me half as well as the 135 has done. You know, obviously I want to get it stored inside as soon as possible. I don't want it to be outside, so that I can just maintain the paintwork and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's it. I don't want to be sitting here talking about it for too long because you'll get bored. But yeah, big investment, big change. Everyone, when they saw it, were like, oh my god, it's so big. But you know, obviously when we've only been looking at the 135, you know, and as I said, my granddad bought the 135 in the 70s, and 50 years on I'm buying a tractor for the farm. So it's a pity he couldn't be here to see it happen. But yeah, hopefully I've made a wise decision. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, do let me know. Yeah, but hopefully it will serve me well. So I'm going to leave it here for now. I'm going to come back with the cattle prices hopefully when we get them, and I should have the cows moved at that stage, so we'll have a look and see how they're getting through the grass and all of that. Now it's a few days later. I probably should have left this video at the 390 because I have a feeling it's going to be very long, but I did say that I'd let people know how the limousines got on, so I will do that now. So the report hasn't come with the check yet, but we know that the bullock was an R- grade, the heifer was an R grade, so fine, pretty good. They killed out at about, the bullock was 51% of his live weight and the heifer 53% of the live weight, which interesting left her only 9 kgs lighter than the bullock, which is good going for her. And with that, you'll get more money for your heifer than your bullock, so she actually did quite well. So the price for the two of them were very similar. But yeah, they did all right considering they were our two worst animals. I don't like saying that, two worst, but they were, you know. Look, the money was nowhere near what the two that went earlier was, but as I said, completely different animals, and those boys were much bigger, much heavier than those. So really it does come down to the weight, but they were ready to go. Their fat score was a 3 and a 3+, so they were pretty much perfect really. So it wouldn't have been the right thing to keep them on longer. You're only going to put more fat on them and you just won't get the money in return, and you're pumping more and more feed into them. So you can see there behind me, can you? They're the cattle. I've just moved them in here through this gap. We have had horrendous weather. Now, nothing compared to some people up the country. they've been covered in snow. We haven't had the snow. We had snow, but it didn't stick. There wasn't much of it, but as you can see there, it has been so wet. Now a lot of that is just surface damage, as I said, with big blackout and the heifer. They're heavy on the ground, they're hard on the ground, so they probably would have gotten another 2 days in here if the weather had held up. But unfortunately there's a bit pushed into the ground and things, and a lot of marking done, so I just said get them out of here. There's enough damage done, so they'll only spend about 2 days where they are now, and then they should get close to a week in the next section and close enough to a week in the next section. So that will then bring us up to testing time. The weather is supposed to be drier in the coming week. The evenings are longer. Hopefully the cold weather will be gone. Already today it's a lot milder, thankfully. And you know what, we have had enough rain now. It just needs to go away for a while. I want to get some fertilizer out hopefully in the next 2 weeks, so that we can start pushing on the grass, because after testing then I don't know where we're going to put them. Really nowhere has a lot of grass, so I'm hoping for some sort of a miracle in the next 2 weeks, or else they'll all be staying in again. But nah, hopefully it won't come to that. They'll probably go up to the higher ground again maybe, but we'll have to see. Hopefully I can get that fertilizer out, because yeah, it's not too pretty down around here now after that weather during the week. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. And if you made it this far, fair play to you, because I do think this is going to be a long video. But thanks again for watching. If you liked it, give me a like, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Thank you.